Congratulations to all crews of the men's U17 double who have secured their spots. And we are now about to be underway with the big boats with the women's youth 8 semifinal 1, where the top 3 will move to the final. Lane 1 will be ready set row B. Lane 2 USR selection development. Lane 3 RowWest racing camp. Lane 4 RowWest racing camp. Lane 5 Greenwich crew. Lane 6 Penn AC.
Fantastic start here from this RowWest crew. I mean, you see the connection. That a lot of times, especially in the 8, you'll see a whole lot of water flying around in the beginning strokes. But here we are looking at these youngsters just fully connected, locked in together. Great efficiency. This is going to be a great race.
And the thing I love about the big boats is just brute force.
Yeah.
Like you're just moving and you just, I mean, it's then the noise just gets a bit louder in terms of those oarlocks. And
Oh,
when
yeah.
it comes together, it's intimidating. Like you just hear those boats next to you just boom, 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 and you just hear that oarlock and everybody together on top of the coxswain who's calling these calls and yelling. I mean, it's definitely a factor, an intimidation factor, I would say, when it comes to these eights.
Oh, absolutely. I was watching them locked in at the start and being very thankful I wasn't with them, because just watching them, my heart went up about 20 beats.
Oh, absolutely.
Those moments in the start line where it's so silent, you can hear the mosquitoes' wings flapping, right?
Yep. No, that is so true.
And here comes this thing, and don't mess it up, right? And I used to sit stroke seat. Now, if I ever did this again, I'd have to be in like 2, 4. I'd have to go back in that engine room and kind of maybe 6 seat if I was lucky, and just see if I could snap an oar in half.
And this is I mean, and how I said before, I mean, the good thing about sweet rowing is you don't really have to worry about your direction. You don't have to worry about all the technical stuff in terms of where your boat's going and the motivation, because that's provided by the coxswain, which is very crucial when it comes to sweet rowing.
Absolutely. I now, a bit of an admission here. I ran the school for Coast Guard coxswain, so I'm a little prone to show some coxswain love. But there's really underestimated and undervalued, I think, often is the role of the coxswain. To demonstrate the empathy, to know what to say, when to say it, when not to say anything, while maintaining course, while maintaining tactical strategy. It's a lot of responsibility. I get asked as a youth coach often, what's the hardest part about the sport? And I say, every October at some point, I send a 14-year-old 3 miles up a river with 8 lives in their hands. Right? Like, tell me what sport's going to let a 14-year-old do that?
Right.
Right. And then here on the biggest stage and the highest of stakes and pressure, to be the one responsible for piloting these eights. Right. 57, 60 foot of boat going fast enough to pull a water skier. What a rush.
Right now, it is insane. I mean, especially the development of the eights in the U.S. I mean, college. These boats are going crazy. A few weeks ago, actually it was more than a few weeks ago, but I was at Windermere Cup, and I went out with University of Washington and their A boat, and just seeing the finesse and the unison of each of those athletes. I mean, you had a couple Olympians and their national team athletes from all over the place, and I mean, Coach Callahan had the boat full throttle, and they were just pulling away. Like, the power that an 8 can have is insane.
Boy, this is just a riveting race here. It looks like we have RowWest Racing Camp's A boat taking about a stern lead maybe, but everything else is up for grabs right now, and they're still not out of reach for these crews. We're going to have a fantastic finish on this race.
And I'm loving it. I'm loving it, because there's nobody giving up here. These crews are side by side. And this is where the mental toughness comes in, because you can see them out of your peripherals, these boats on both sides of you. And they're either, first place, what may have about 2 seats.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still all these boats are still connected by a seat or two.
And the stress and intensity of it. I mean, you think right now if you're in lanes 5 or 6 in Greenwich or Penn AC's boat, one mistake, one mental lapse for less than a fraction of a second is going to decide
Absolutely.
just as much as your fitness or power. Just that ability to stay locked into your job and just your job.
Right. Right.
Oof.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, like you even said with the sculling. I mean, just rowing in general, that one stroke, and then
Yep.
I mean, if you lose by that fraction of a second, you think, "Dag, if that oar didn't get caught in the water, or if I didn't,
Yeah.
I mean, I feathered too early in the water, or didn't clear enough water,
Right.
and you're hitting the buoys." Like, I mean, there's so much that can happen.
And their
within
bodies
these
right
events.
now at this point in the race for people, we're trying to put the oars in the water behind us, but that back is getting tight and those legs are on fire, and
Yep.
you'll start seeing these crews start swinging in, with the oar next to them when it enters, as their fitness and fatigue and heart rate just can't take it, and it's just the mental discipline to continue hitting those same locations in the stroke, every stroke, no matter what you're feeling. It's
No, it is insane.
amazing.
And it looks like RowWest Racing Camp. It looks like they are in contention for 2 of the 3 spots, which says a lot about their program. But this is going to be tight racing to the finish. Top 3 crews make it to the final. Who's going to fight it out? Who's going to take it? Every single last crew from 1 to 5. There's 5 crews that are in contention, that could be in contention. This is the last 100 meters. Who's going to take it? Looks like lane 4 will lead the way. Followed by lane 3. Oh, they are fighting it out. There we go. 4 has crossed. They are 3 and 5. 4, 3, and 5, but they are still fighting. This is what I love.